It's VR again. Okay, so I was going to explain some of the changes I've gone through my transition. And sorry I keep shooting this video in this room. It's actually the only place I can set my camera up, and it just happens to be my bathroom. But anyway, all right, so I can explain the changes I went through when I started my hormones, which you can consider this to be a female's puberty. So some of the changes is, like on the sexual side, you become more emotional, more compassionate, you care about people more. You don't care about sex as much, but you care about connection, which is the same pretty much as any woman. You care about connection. You don't have a drive, an animal instinct for sex, and that's basically what men have. And I know from looking at another transsexual online, it's actually a female to male, and he actually is going through a male's puberty. And I remember male's puberty, and honestly, like for me, I hated it, but it was sex. Like on your mind, you have all these feelings, all these different emotions. I would say that men have a little bit more of a depression. They think about sex more, they think about connection more with someone else. Not so much emotionally, but more of like a physical connection. And so it's on their mind a lot. And I know from looking at this transsexual, the female to male, he's actually going through a lot of depression. And I remember going through that when I was younger. And honestly, I can tell him that it's actually completely normal, and it will write itself out. And it is harder simply because you are a transsexual, that you're going through this extreme change, and your body is not the way that you want it to be. It's not the exact way you want it to be. And you'll be able to get that way. It's through surgery, you'll be able to transition and actually get to that point, which is very exciting. And over time, you will get there. And it's the same with me. Like there's certain things about my body I completely hate. I mean, I haven't got breast implants yet. I am doing, I've got an A cup right now just from hormones, but planning on going in for surgery and getting my breast implants. And that's a big step, you know. Facial feminization, which is going to cost around about $25,000. My breast will cost about $9,000 because I want this to all be perfect, of course. And so these things cause a lot of depression in my life. And it's kind of the same thing. And it will write itself out. And give ourselves like 6, 7 years once you've been doing this and you're actually living it. And you know, you as a male, a female to male transsexual, you as a male, you'll grow facial hair, you'll get your muscles, you will get exactly what you want, you'll have that masculinity. For me, it's the exact opposite, and it kind of sucks, you know, because I look at female to male transsexuals and I think to myself, I'm like, God, you know, that's all I wanted, what you were born with, and they probably look at me the same way. They're like, oh, you just have what I want. And it's kind of crazy how things work, but it's a step we have to take. And when you learn from that, the things that you learn through that depression, through that anxiety, through your everyday life, the shit that you actually learn is incredible. I can actually say I would rather be a transsexual than a genetic woman, because thinking of it as a life standard, like honestly, my body is going to be worm food in the end anyway. We're all going to die, and some creature's going to eat us, or we're going to burn, or whatever the hell it is. That's all going to happen to us one day. So this step, this lesson is so great. It's so powerful that it's so hard for other human beings to understand. They honestly, they don't know that step because they don't have to ever think about it. They never have to think about their mind changing into something else, you know? And you know, and another thing that I've been thinking about lately, a lot of transsexuals, you know, they get annoyed with the gay community, and they wonder why they don't support them as much. And it's not that gay people don't support us. I mean, of course, lesbians, they love male to female transsexuals, you know, because a lot of them think we're gorgeous, even though we were genetically male. So it's when people think of the gay community, they think of men. And you got to understand, like, gay men, the way that it's changed the gay society is to be a man. It's actually to represent the gay community is just saying we are men and we just happen to like other men. That's what I kind of get out of it. And so, of course, the gay community is not going to be fully accepting or supporting of us. It's not the same thing. They're not changing their mind or their gender. They're not changing anything. And so I actually consider straight men to have more in common with gay men than we do, because they're men. And so that's another argument I have. A lot of transsexuals look down on the gay community for that, and I don't blame them for anything. I honestly think the gay community is just doing their own thing, and we're just a separate part of life. And so, that's another thought. So these are just some thoughts, some answers, some questions that I have. This is what I'm looking into. And so it's quite fascinating, and I honestly think that transsexuals need to think about the challenges that we have and actually use it, enjoy it, take it and use it. And for the female to male transsexual online, I'm going to send you this video, but I can understand what you're going through, and I can't, because your mind is going through the opposite to what mine is. But I remember going through that younger, and I didn't like it. So honestly, what you're going through and the things that you don't like, I can kind of understand that part. And so I just want to say that, and say that honestly what we're doing is we're questioning people's minds, we're questioning things, we're questioning society, and we're a further form of evolution. We're a higher form of evolution, not undermining anyone else, but we're a step forward, and eventually over thousands of years through evolution we will not have genders anymore. We will eventually be a one gender. It won't become an issue. Sex, gender will not matter. Our forward things in life will be compassion and love and whatnot. That our minds, as we evolve as human beings, will eventually get to a higher state of being. And we're just that next step. So honestly, you have to be quite proud of the step that you're taking. So anyway, that was my opinion. I hope you guys have a great day, and send me some answers, some questions, and have a good one.